Well, it looks like I'm live here. Today, we're going to be talking about our revenue responsibility per hour. Now, if you're here, I appreciate it because I'm doing a test of a new software program. It's called StreamYard, and it tells me that I can go live on multiple channels at the same time just by doing one recording. Well, I tried it a couple times this weekend. Some of you probably gave me soft golf claps watching me fail again and again. And you know what? If you know me by now, you know I don't care about failure. I only care about success. I'm happy to get my head kicked in. I'm the guy who will get up and fight again. And that's what we're doing today. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to do a test. And we're going to do a test with something valuable. The thing that we're going to talk about today is time management for contractors. Now, this comes up again and again in so many different situations. Now, let me say, it doesn't matter what size of construction company you have. Whether you're just starting out, you'll be able to get value from this. Whether you've got a $1 million company, a $5 million company, a 20, a 60, $100 million, what you're going to learn today is a very quick time management tip that's going to help you delegate better and without any guilt. It's going to help you understand the value of your time, and it's going to help you to say no because you're going to understand the impact of saying yes. A couple of things are going to come up here today, a tiny bit of math. I'm going to help you with the math. You're going to laugh at some of my math because it doesn't make sense to you, but you'll be able to do it on your own. You ready to go? So we're going to be talking about this, my revenue responsibility per hour, and that's represented as RR/H. Now, if you've never seen this calculation before, that's because people that aren't business owners or entrepreneurs, they don't talk about this. The only place you would hear information like this is on from a business coach like myself, who's also an entrepreneur. I think about this number all the time, and with the clients I work with, I think about this number all the time. It's called your revenue responsibility per hour. Let's get into it a little bit. Let me change. This is my very high-tech system today for the test. This is how you calculate your revenue responsibility per hour. It's very simple. You just take last year's sales. So how much did you sell last year? What was your total sales number? And how many hours do you work a year? We can calculate both of those things, and that'll give us the revenue responsibility per hour, which is going to tell you how much you as the owner, as the leader of the company, you're responsible for bringing into the company, for managing. If you were to imagine that you're looking out over a sea of faces and those are all the people who work for you, what's your responsibility? Leads company. That's your job description. Leads company. It's very short, right? But what does that mean? Well, everybody there relies on you or me to bring in new business in the future, because the business we bring in the future is the work they're getting paid for today, and that's allowing them to go on vacation with their family or pay for things that are important to them. They need those wages and salaries, and that's why you and I have a revenue responsibility per hour that we owe to the company. Let's jump into that a bit. Here's some simple math, and this is actually where you laugh. Just for the sake of the exercise, I said that you are doing $1 million in sales a year. Obviously, put in your own number. It doesn't matter if you're doing 500,000, 800,000, or 8 million. Whatever your number is, put that number in up above here. Now, this is the funny part. Assuming you work 2,000 hours per year. Of course, I had to do something. I can't see anybody live on screen, so I can't ask you. But 2,000 hours is my funny math of saying, look, out of a 52-week year, you probably take at least 2 weeks off. Christmas and vacation, maybe Thanksgiving, Easter, something like that. You may take more time off. If so, adjust your number. But if you work 50 weeks a year and you work 40 hours a week, and this is where all of you are rolling your eyes and going, Rubino, are you kidding me? I work 40 hours before Tuesday. Okay, I get it. Doesn't matter what your number is. Go figure out your actual number. Your math will vary. So we all understand that this is an exercise, right? So go ahead. $1 million in sales divided by you worked how many hours in the year. Your number might be 2,500 hours. For some of you out there, it might be 1,850 hours, whatever your number is. For this exercise here, I said $1 million and 2,000 hours because guess what? The math is easy. It means that your revenue responsibility per hour is $500 per hour. So what does that mean? Well, it means that that's your responsibility to the company. So when you want to make decisions about delegating, let's just talk about delegating. Perhaps you're having trouble saying no to people. You have to send plans to your engineer, your architect, your designer, your draftsperson, whoever that is. But you're finding it hard to delegate. You say, well, it's 5 minutes. I'll just do the work myself. The problem is let's say that your draftsperson is worth $40 an hour. That's not $500 an hour. It's better for you to be delegating that $40 an hour work off to the draftsperson who's worth $40 an hour, right? Let me put an even finer point on this. I want you to think about somebody you've got in your company. Let's call him Complaining Charlie. If you got somebody in the company who's a complainer, Complaining Charlie's always causing problems, late for work. When he does come to work, he causes problems with the crew. Those problems mean people are marching into your office complaining, and then they have to leave, and then you've got to talk to Charlie, bring him off the floor. He stops production, interrupts the foreman. Have you got that person in your company? Now, I painted a pretty wide picture there, but maybe it's just a little bit that this person is causing problems. But I want you to think about your own Complaining Charlie in your company, and that's going to take us back to this $500 per hour. What's the impact of Complaining Charlie? What's the impact to you? Right now, it feels like a headache, right? Monday morning, you already know Charlie's going to be complaining. You're going to have to deal with him, let's say, twice a week. Let's say that you have to deal with Charlie's shrapnel, just the wake of destruction that he leaves behind him for 2 hours in the course of a week. 15 minutes here, an hour meeting there, 30 minutes over here. Somebody's upset. That's another 15 minutes, whatever. Let's just say it comes to 2 hours in the week. Well, we now have a value that we can assign to how much opportunity cost Complaining Charlie is taking from you as the owner. It's 500 times 2 hours, $1,000 a week. Charlie's costing you $1,000 a week. Maybe it's time to have a conversation with Charlie. Pull him aside and say, look, bud, I understand things are going on in your life. I understand blah, blah, blah. But here's how things work here. And you're going to have to just have a very open and honest conversation with Complaining Charlie and say, look, things need to change. Here are the things that I'd like you to change. And Charlie will say one of three things. He'll say nothing and walk away. He'll say no and walk away. Or he'll say yes and comply and make the changes to be a contributing part of the team. Either way, your responsibility to the company is to do something about this because you're operating at the $500 per hour level. $500 per hour level. Charlie is costing you $1,000 of that. That opportunity that's being taken from other people who need to be part of the company. Can I make this? Hopefully that made sense. Leave something in the comments. And by the way, I'm just going to grab a pen and write something down here. If you like this kind of information, go ahead and listen to the Profit Tool Belt podcast or maybe the Cabinet Maker Profit System podcast, because ideas like this is what we talk about on those shows all the time. All the time, right? But there's one other thing I need to show you that's even more important, which is that you're not sitting still in your business. And I know that because you're tuned in to this business improvement channel right now. And here is the interesting thing, is that if you did $1 million last year, but you want to grow the business and you want to get to $1.5 million, but you still want to work 2,000 hours in the year, your actual revenue responsibility per hour as a growth-minded president or owner, GM, whatever you call yourself, is actually $750 an hour. What does that mean? Well, that means that anytime you're listening to me, anytime you're watching my show or talking to me or one of my coaches, if you're not getting $751 in value in that hour, you're free to hang up because we're wasting your time. Your time is extremely valuable. You're out there creating jobs. You're out there making promises to customers, whether they're commercial or residential or civil or industrial customers. You're saying, yes, my company can do this work and we're going to do a great job. And you're signing your name to those pieces of paper. You're taking all the commitment in the world. If everybody else around you isn't doing that, then it's time for some changes. Look, if you like simple systems like this, and if you like hearing about these kind of mindset shifts that will help you make the most of your time, please listen to the show. I think you're really going to enjoy it. There's 2 different podcasts. One of them is called Cabinet Maker Profit System. It's just for cabinet makers and architectural mill workers and furniture makers, right? Very specific. The other one's called Profit Tool Belt. Who listens to Profit Tool Belt? All business owners in construction and trades, really underneath the builder or property manager level. So we have trades there, roofing, HVAC. Of course, the cabinet makers listen to that one as well. Masons, tile setters, roofers, siding, building envelope guys, lots of renovations and remodelers. Sorry, I missed you guys. There's tons of renos and remodelers there. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you got a lot out of this tip. If you have questions about the $750 in revenue responsibility per hour, ask me. If you want to make a joke about me saying that you only work 2,000 hours a year, go ahead and leave that in the chat in the comments. Actually, that would help me a ton so that I know this darn thing is working. Thank you for checking in, folks. I appreciate it. Let's keep it short. I'm going to end the broadcast and we'll see you soon.